everyone, and welcome to The Good Life for Nebraska Seniors. I'm your host, Donna Blum, with Graceful Senior Transitions. And this show is really about helping seniors and their families navigate the golden years. We want to provide information and valuable resources and just uplifting conversations. They're going to ensure that seniors have a happy, healthy, and purposeful golden year season of life. So today, I'm so excited to welcome my friend and guest, Jill Quigley. Hi. And her organizing business is called Neatnify. I love the name, Jill. Thanks. Welcome.
Thank you so much. I'm really thrilled to be here.
Jill, to get us started, would you mind sharing a little bit with our audience about your background? What got you into professional organizing, and what do you love most about the work that you do?
Well, even as a little kid, when I would clean my room, I was one of the kids that would put everything on my bed, so I couldn't go to bed until everything was put away. And it was just a natural thing for me to want things in order. And as I've gotten older and I've worked a corporate job, decided, I wanted something different. I wanted something that I could actually own, and it was mine. So I looked into it and found Dorothy Brenninger, and she is one of the first organizers on the show Hoarders.
Hoarders. Okay, Hoarders. Some of you probably have seen the show.
And so I certified through her, and then through that certification, I've been able to be on 5 different episodes of the show itself to help organize, clean out, and everything. So I've seen a little bit, but it really gives me a sense of purpose to be able to help other people, whether it's just decision making. Should I keep it? Should I throw it away? Should I donate it? Or just being the person that keeps them focused. They know what they want to do with their stuff, but they know that they can't focus long enough. Mm-hmm. And they need that extra person looking over their shoulder going, okay, now let's do this. Now let's do this. And it's just gratifying to see people feel so much better about their environment and just about themselves. It's great.
Yeah. You've heard the expression, less mess, less stress.
Yes.
I actually worked with one of my friends recently on a project, a video project. And by the way, you knew this about me. I used to be a professional organizer as well years ago. But she and I did a brief video series about organizing, and just talked a lot about like the increase in productivity and how like clutter, it releases more cortisol, which is like the stress, stress producing. And there are so many like scientific reasons to be in benefits to be organized, right?
Absolutely.
So it's amazing. It's not something that typically people think about.
They don't.
Now, you've been on the Hoarder Show.
I have.
What's the difference between somebody who's just maybe a bit disorganized and has a lot of clutter, but a true hoarder?
Well, hoarding itself is the active participation in gathering things, whether that's food, it can be trash, it can be a shopping addiction, whether that's online shopping. They're so dangerous. But online shopping, or just going to stores and feeling like, ooh, I could get that for so-and-so. And then it just starts to collect. And it's almost like they don't realize how much stuff. You've got people that become nose blind to how their environment smells just because they're in it for so long. Well, I think that when somebody gets to the point of being a hoarder, where you have little paths to go through the house, or the stacks of stuff are higher than you, or you can't get through your doorways, then there's really a kind of you're just blind to the surroundings, and you don't realize how bad it truly is. Someone who's just a collector, I say just a collector, I mean, there can be high-end collectors, but a collection can be displayed and you're proud of it and you want people to see it. Whereas hoarding, a lot of times people don't want to show you their environment. They almost are, I don't want to say hermits, but there's a reason behind it. It's usually not the stuff. It's usually something that's gone on in their life at some point. Maybe they haven't dealt with it. Maybe they're building a wall between themselves and the outside world. It all depends upon their experience, their environment, and what's going on in their mind. And you just don't know. So it's crazy. But some of the environments that I've been in a house that was floor to ceiling shopping, shoes, handbags, clothing. It wasn't really dirty, other than you couldn't clean, obviously. And then you have those that they think it's okay to eat in their bedroom and then just throw the trash on a pile right next to them. So it varies, but it's definitely I don't want to say a mental problem, but it could be mental, it could be emotional. It even could be physical, because you may not be able to get out, and the way to bring the world in, you've got your online shopping, you've got your social media, you've got all kinds of stuff hitting you all the time. So you just start to collect.
Yes. I often felt like when I was doing the professional organizing that I could have benefited from having a counseling degree.
Oh, absolutely.
Because typically, people who have a difficult time letting go of inanimate objects, it's because of some sort of emotional attachment to the items. For example, people who were brought up maybe during the time of depression, in their mind, there's a scarcity, right?
Right.
I can't get rid of anything that might have some potential purpose because I don't have the money to replace it, or I might need it. So yeah, there is a lot of psychology behind why people hold on to what they do. I think perhaps, as you were talking, I was thinking there might be a litmus test here, though. If there's a senior, or anybody for that matter, because hoarding is not something that is just something that seniors might do,
No,
right?
it is not.
But if you are, I guess, embarrassed to let anybody past your front door because of the amount of accumulation of stuff that you have inside your home, that might be a sign.
It might be.
That you're a hoarder, maybe. So I'm going to go on to the next question here. What are some early warning signs that clutter may be turning into a hoarding situation, and how can a senior recognize when it might be time to seek some help with that?
Well, I think if a person finds themselves always staying home, they don't go out. If they were a social person and you notice that they're not calling as often, or they maybe start having you pick them up outside their house when up until that point they invited you in, just as you were saying, they don't want you in their environment. If a person just realizes, you know what, I'm having trouble walking through my house. I didn't have this trouble before. You might want to call someone and say, what has changed? Again, you may not see it, but somebody else from the outside coming in will go, oh my, we need to do something. And the hardest thing is to call for help, is to reach out. But as somebody ages, for some it becomes easier to reach out and say, I don't know how to do this, come and help me. For others, you have to watch for the signs. You have to be the one. Hopefully there are loved ones in their life, whether that's friends or family, that recognize that there's been a difference, and they should check up on them. They should pop over and see how things are and how they're getting along.
Right. And I think too, for seniors, that it is important to know perhaps they're not reaching out for that help because they don't want to be a burden.
Right.
Those people in their lives want to help them.
They do.
So
They do. Don't shut people out.
Yeah. And there are, like we mentioned just earlier, so many benefits
There are.
to living in an organized space,
Yes,
a
there are.
decluttered space. There's clarity, there's peace, there's less stress. Don't wait. If you think, if you really pay attention to the way you feel in your environment, and it's heavy and dark and depressing, those are signs
They are,
that it's time for a change.
for sure.
So many seniors don't realize the impact that their belongings may have later. Like there's no harm in buying that, or going to a garage sale and they see something that's cute or it might have some benefit. Can you talk about how excessive clutter can become a burden for loved ones, especially in the event of a health crisis or after they're gone?
Absolutely. So if you start collecting and your environment gets closed off, then say you have something that happens to you. You fall, you trip, you just end up injuring yourself in the house. The emergency workers can't get in to help you. If you can't have, I'm trying to remember the width, but there's a certain legal width that you need through your house, through the door openings, for someone to help rescue you and get you the help that you need. If it's not there, then no one's going to know. No one's going to be able to help you. And just that situation alone, for those that care about you, it's going to be heartbreaking that the stuff overwhelmed the environment enough that they couldn't help you. They couldn't get the help. And then if somebody passes, not only are they going through the emotional side of losing that loved one, losing that dear friend, but now they also have, what do we do with all of the stuff? It's just an added layer of, oh my gosh, what do I have to do? It's such a hardship almost on the people that are left behind or that can't get in to help you. It's just really hard.
Yeah.
Really
It's a
hard.
burden on
Yes.
top of, I guess worst case scenario is it's after the death of a loved one, and they're already grieving, and now
Absolutely.
all
Now
of this
everything else.
stuff. What do? We can't sell the house until we
Clear it
clear it
out.
out, and yeah, that's really difficult again because you have this emotional response to those items, and that you just, for example, lost your father or your mother and everything in that home belonged to them. Oh my goodness.
Yes. So if you just think of a regular house and having to do that,
Yes.
tack on having piles from the floor to the ceiling and having to dig out, literally, dig out of that.
Yeah.
You have a lot of resentment, and you don't want your loved ones to resent you. You want them to miss you
Yes.
because they loved you.
Yes.
You don't want them to not like you.
Yeah.
That's just not a good thing.
Right. Right. I think people really relate to stories. Can you think of an example of a client? I have one in mind, so I'm kind of putting you on the spot right now, but is there something that comes to your mind that is an example of this, where the situation wasn't perhaps dealt with until it was a crisis, and then just the heaviness of then trying to resolve the
I
clutter?
haven't dealt with a situation of passing away,
Okay.
but I have dealt with the person moved out of state, and it took the daughter-in-law to reach out and find help here to go through. And the mother-in-law, there were some issues mentally. I don't know if it was early early onset of Alzheimer's. I'm not sure the situation.
Right.
But she didn't understand why she needed to get rid of all of this stuff. But she moved from a house to an apartment. There was no way she could even take regular amount of house stuff to an apartment. And she struggled. And she got into many arguments with the daughter-in-law. And my contract was with the daughter-in-law. So in talking with the mother-in-law, there's a lot of in-laws here.
Yes.
With the mother-in-law, I told the daughter-in-law, I said, don't worry. Don't worry about what I tell or my discussions with your mother-in-law. I will do my job. Okay, don't worry about that. And then just having some conversations to see where she was. And man, she got really angry with me. I think it was just because I was there. I'm touching all of her stuff.
You're trying to take her stuff.
I am. and it's very personal. And you don't realize how much of your stuff is really, it's here. It's not here. So just looking at the family dynamics and then being in between that, they got into a yelling match on the front yard.
Oh no, oh no. These are the kinds of things we want to help avoid, right? Right.
I just kind of had to quietly walk away and go, that's between them.
Yes.
I'm here to do a job.
Yes, but it didn't have to get to that point if she was open to recognizing some of the signs and reaching out for help.
Absolutely.
Now, my example also was not a death, but it was an aunt and uncle. My aunt had dementia and was already somewhat of an invalid. She needed a walker, and her husband was her caregiver. Well, then he had a medical emergency.
Oh my.
And she really couldn't be left alone because of the dementia. He was in the hospital for months. Their only daughter lived out of state. So she had to make arrangements for my aunt to be moved from Omaha to Kansas City into an assisted living facility while my uncle remained in Omaha for surgery and rehab and all of that. Meanwhile, the house sat vacant. As soon as he was able to travel, he too ended up in Kansas City, but the house was full and had not been renovated in years, was in disrepair, could not be sold in the condition it was in. It was sort of a hot mess, I guess is the best way to describe it, with all that my cousin had on her plate with her parents and the medical emergencies, which, by the way, continue. She knew her parents would never live in the home again, and then she also, from out of state, had to figure out
Everything.
everything. So we helped a lot. They ended up having to sell the house as is, because that was again, it doesn't have to be that way, right?
I don't think that people realize that if you have that much stuff, how much it does affect the building itself.
Yes, it does.
And how if you want your heirs to sell the house to then have, say, more money,
The equity, yeah.
then you have to think about the condition, just
Yes,
like
you
you're
do.
saying.
Yeah, you do.
And if it's ruined because of your stuff, then it lessens what your intention was.
Right. Yeah. So let's think about, from your experience, what are some of the physical, emotional, and safety benefits of living in a more organized and clutter-free environment?
Well, you had mentioned earlier, when your environment is more organized, you feel better. I don't think people put those things together.
Yes.
They see stuff and then they have themselves. But I have watched too many people have this realization of how free they feel and how less oppressed they feel when they watch the stuff go away.
Yes.
And I don't think that people understand that just because it's an item, that item doesn't hold the memory.
No.
You hold the memory.
Right.
Now, if you need a physical
Representation,
visual,
right.
take a picture of
Yes,
it
yes,
and let it go.
yes,
Let the actual item go, because you can put that picture in an album. You can create a whole album.
yes.
I did that with my childhood home when my mom sold it.
Yeah.
Is anything that I wanted to keep in my mind, I took a picture of it. I've got a full photo album
Yes,
of my childhood home and my stuff.
yes.
So I don't think people really put the psychological piece behind the stuff.
Right.
So if you don't have as much stuff, then you are in a safer environment.
Yeah.
And you can move around more freely. You have more opportunity for options.
Right.
It opens up many more options to you. So it overall, I think it just creates more than we give it credit for.
I agree wholeheartedly. So I was even thinking one of the services that I'd like to provide for my clients is the opportunity to age in place. So, if let's say their physical condition changes and now they have a walker or a wheelchair, well, if they already are living in a clutter-free space, it opens up opportunities where maybe they can stay in their home.
Right.
And then I'm also thinking about, like, in the event of emergency, if things are organized, their family members can find their insurance papers and their will and their asset information, and it just becomes so much less stressful for the senior, for their families. There are a lot of benefits.
There are.
Probably too many to
list.
To
You
list.
probably don't even think about it until you're in the situation
Right.
and then realize, wow, I didn't know that those went together.
Yeah, resale, all kinds of things. For an elderly person who feels overwhelmed just thinking about decluttering, and a lot of times, when you think of an elderly person, they may have some mobility issues already. So it's like, how can I even do this myself, right? But what are some simple, realistic steps that they can take to start making progress today? Should they consider enlisting the help of friends, family, or a professional organizer such as yourself?
First and foremost, don't take on the whole project
At once.
at once.
Yes.
So many people think, oh my gosh, I see all of this stuff. I need to take care of all of this. No. Start small. Give yourself a win. One drawer. One day, one drawer. Then maybe the next day, 2 drawers. See that you can do it. And then build on it. So some people will set a timer and say 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and see how much they can get done
Yes.
in that amount of time. And then if you're feeling good, okay, set another 15 minutes
Quick wins.
and see what you can do.
Yes.
It's a snowball effect.
Yes.
And before you know it, you'll be able to look at that space and go, oh my gosh, half of it's clean. Oh, how did that happen?
That feels good.
Right. You get those wins. You get those endorphins of, I can do this. Now, if you have issues seeing where to start, then talk to a trusted friend or a family member and say, you know what, I really would like to clean this out. Not maybe necessarily I want you to clean it out, but I would like some help in doing this. I want to take part in this. I just don't know where to start. So ask someone to come in. That's fine. We'll pull out that drawer. We'll lay down, a towel or something, dump the drawer, and we'll just start sorting through. And it gives you the opportunity to maybe share the stories of how you acquired that. And I know that there are a lot of seniors that's what they want to do.
Yeah.
They want to share their stories. So if you have someone in your world that is patient, that isn't, Mom, we got to throw this away. We got to throw this away. Don't do that if you can. Don't get that frustrated.
Yes.
Try to just understand and meet them where they are and say, how can I help you? Let's go through that drawer. All right, now let's go on to this one cabinet.
Yes.
Baby steps.
Yep.
And you'll see the wins. If you don't have family or friends in town, say you have a son who lives in New Jersey and you're in Nebraska, then talk to your son or daughter who lives out of state and tell them, I need some help. Maybe the son or daughter can search the area for someone like myself to come in and help. Or there are different agencies that also offer help with these things. So there are a lot of options, but the first thing is just asking. And even if it's, I don't need help, you could even go, hey, my friend Susie, now secretly I'm Susie, but my friend Susie needs some help. Where would she go? Just get the information. Just get the information and try.
Yeah.
Try it.
And just get started. Yeah,
Just get started.
Yeah, so I often say, how do you eat an elephant?
One
bite at a time. You've heard it.
Absolutely, I have.
So we're kind of wrapping up. We have about a minute and a little over a minute left. As seniors begin thinking about the future and considering options, that includes selling their home, right-sizing, or even aging in place. What advice do you have to make the transition smoother and less stressful?
I think that if you could downsize on your own terms, I think it makes you feel more in control of what's going on in your world.
Instead of in an emergency?
Right.
Yeah.
So I think that's key. I also think that you need to communicate. Tell your loved ones what you want. Write it down. Talk to people. Make it accessible. I know that's opening people up and making them feel very, very vulnerable, but it truly is important. Being a daughter, I lost my mother.
I'm so sorry.
But
Jill.
she was extremely organized. I'm very blessed that she laid everything out, and she talked to myself and my brother about what she wanted and what she wanted to do with the house. A lot of people think about money. They think about the house itself. Think about the stuff. What do you want to do with the stuff? What do you want done with it? Because that's also your wishes. But nobody thinks about it. They think the house and that's everything.
Yeah.
But not necessarily. Maybe you want this piece of china to go to Aunt Betty. Tell somebody.
Make a list.
Right.
Yes.
Otherwise, it's not going to happen. So it's just takes a little bit of planning.
Yeah.
And it makes a world of difference.
Yes.
But think about the stuff.
Yeah. I hear you. Well, I just want to thank everybody for watching today. This conversation went so quickly. Thank you, Jill, for being here.
Sure.
And I just hope everybody will tune in for the next episode. Thanks for joining us today. Bye now.